It's an absolute pleasure to be here. My name is Ayla Majid. I'm the founder and CEO of Planative Middle East and Pakistan. We are a project development and advisory firm which focuses on energy and decarbonization. And we help companies and hard-to-abate sectors create pathways for their decarbonization and also structure projects and bring in the relevant partners. And also some of the areas that we are working on are like carbon capture and linking those to carbon markets, which is a fairly newer area still. And we aim to create an ecosystem which then facilitates really scaling carbon capture and related projects. And obviously hydrogen and carbon capture go hand in hand, most certainly. So I spoke on the converging pathways for carbon capture and hydrogen. As we know that independently, both these projects would be quite expensive, and the kind of challenges that they face in terms of the high cost, in terms of the technology risk, and in terms of the offtake risk, they're very interdependent. So what makes sense is that both are developed in a cohesive ecosystem. And the best scaling model to scale both technologies is to build integrated decarbonization pathways and ecosystem where the industry, the off-takers, the producers, and also the permanent storage, if that is in the play, all exist in an ecosystem together. And one of the other areas that I must highlight is that leveraging on the existing infrastructure, that is very key to bring down the costs. Having the aggregated guaranteed demand and the offtake, that significantly reduces the risk for such projects. And eventually where we are heading is to create more financial bankability and viability of these projects. So today's dialogue is centered around the convergence of carbon markets and hydrogen pathways. And in the same space, I shared my insights, also linking to some of the successful projects that we have around the world. We have in particular successful projects in the US where the producers of hydrogen, the carbon dioxide storage players, the energy players, the off-takers, and supported by the policy ecosystem, they've been able to have some really good projects there. Closer to this region, here we have the NEOM project in Saudi, that is of course worth mentioning. There's the Jubail project that is underway, and all of these will then create models that can then be replicated in other parts of the world. I would say that wherever there is a scale that has happened in projects like these, there's definitely a lot of policy incentive available, either in shape of incentives or funding or some kind of credits available. So policy frameworks are really important. I would say another key takeaway, which is very important, is that there needs to be multi-country and across the region integrated frameworks that need to be developed, because the scale of these projects are such that we really need to bring players together. And in some cases, there may be a large geological storage available with one country, whereas the emitter would be in another country. And whereas the producer of hydrogen would be in another. So developing projects in say at the regional level or with of course with multi-industry collaboration, but with multi-country collaboration could be a huge enabler, I would say. I would say that IEF plays a very significant role, and what IEF and Jody did just with this particular roundtable and with all the other convenings that are there, the power of collaboration is really important. And I think by bringing all key stakeholders on the table, exchanging ideas, and that leading to creating policies, frameworks, And if any of the discussions that took place now, the ideas that could be sort of formulated into going into enabling technology or creating policies, it is beneficial across, of course, for the energy sector, but all the other industry players that would sort of benefit from it. So these dialogues certainly are very important, and I see them as really convening powers.